Eastern Oklahoma County is thriving and is now open for business on a national scale thanks to today's opening of the first segment of the Kickapoo Turnpike. This virtual opening celebrates the new link between Oklahoma's two largest cities, which further empowers Oklahomans to connect and pursue economic prosperity in our state. Oklahoma is the epicenter of the transportation industry. The I-44 corridor has more than 2 million heavy trucks on it each year, transporting goods and services from coast to coast. Roadways like the 21-mile-long Kickapoo are needed to lessen traffic congestion in the metro areas and move goods and people quickly and safely, cutting down drive time for many. It has been my priority as governor to propel Oklahoma into the top 10 for infrastructure nationwide, and today is one more step toward positioning Oklahoma as a national leader in transportation. About a month ago, we stood near downtown Oklahoma City touting Oklahoma's top 10 ranking for the quality of our bridges. Today, the opening of the Kickapoo Turnpike has put Oklahoma in the national spotlight once again. This marks the first time in decades that Oklahoma has opened a new turnpike, which was developed as part of a larger package of turnpike improvements statewide. This road, along with the nearly $120 million in widening and improvements made during the past 2 years by ODOT and OTA to I-40 in eastern Oklahoma County, creates a transportation system in this area designed to get us from point A to point B more effectively and efficiently. So just how important is this turnpike going to be to this state? Building infrastructure like this puts people to work. It helps grow our economy and our communities. Companies seek out states that prioritize projects such as this. Ask any CEO and they will tell you they want quality transportation to connect their goods and services to the rest of the nation. This is exactly where we are headed as a state. Another one of the priorities is to make sure Oklahomans have the safest, most convenient roadways in the state. As you travel this turnpike that will ultimately connect I-40 to I-44, you will see great detail was taken to make sure of just that. From a state-of-the-art crash barrier system to wide lanes of traffic, construction crews have done a great job in preparing this new transportation link for the public. Infrastructure improvements like the Kickapoo Turnpike help cities and towns come together, uniting us in our goal of becoming a top 10 state. From improving commute times to places like Tinker Air Force Base, downtown Oklahoma City, and even Tulsa, this corridor improves connections for commerce and helps drive our state's ongoing economic development and tourism efforts. Today signifies great progress for our transportation system, and we invite you to come see for yourself that eastern Oklahoma County is driving onto the national scene.
Sports Morning on 98.1 FM, WWLS, the sports animal.
The man, the coach, three-time Hall of Famer, Pat Jones.
This is what I would call good radio, Coach. Listen to this.
Yeah. Why would I want to listen to that, Pat? I won 3 national championships and a Super Bowl. Let's listen to Coach's Cabana.
Let me remind you, I was the Big 8 Coach of the Year more times than you were.
Okay, I give you that.
Well, again, speed indicates normally, those kids hit a crease and it was off to the races. Iowa State had no chance. So anyway, then Arkansas State, who I think we were all in agreement, they look pretty good. What'd you think about the radio show?
Hey, Pat, I think we found a shortcut. Let's take a new Kickapoo Turnpike.
Holy cow, 80 miles per hour. Glad you're a good driver.
Well, I'll tell you what, it connects I-44 to I-40. Great way to get to Sooner games.
You got that right.
So if you would look at a map of the central part of the state, the farthest east north-south road is right almost in the downtown area. That's I-35. So a connection to I-44 from south of I-40 would certainly seem a reasonable first step to try and help alleviate the traffic on I-35.
The most glaring obstacle to economic development in eastern Oklahoma County has been the lack of transportation infrastructure. The formation of the Eastern Oklahoma County Partnership provided a catalyst for changing this.
In the Eastern Oklahoma Partnerships, the Turnpike Authority, ODOT, we sat there for 4 hours going back and forth how we can get this developed in that area, and the Turnpike Authority, Tim Stewart at the time, director, said, I think we might be able to do this.
It's usually a 20-year process. With the Turnpike Authority, the way they are able to finance projects of this size, they can do it rather quickly. And the men and women of the Turnpike Authority did yeoman work on the Kickapoo.
The real initiator was Secretary Ridley and Governor Fallon. They were the driving forces and the visionaries that saw the need and took the political risks necessary to get it started.
To put a project of this magnitude in perspective, let's run the numbers. 74 new lane miles or 201 trips on the Silver Bullet at Frontier City. When put end to end, the length of the beams used on the project is more than 14 miles. That's 8 times the length of the Golden Gate Bridge.
Hey, wait, what are you doing?
Coach, I'm looking for change. Figured you'd want to hang half 100 on that coin machine down
Pat,
there.
we don't need change. We got a pike pass.
Right.
Half a million tons of asphalt, enough to pave 500 miles of county road. Over 8 million cubic yards of dirt work, and enough concrete to build a roadway to Alaska from Oklahoma City.
We know that seconds count when a loved one needs medical services, and now we will save minutes getting them to a hospital.
One of the first things I dealt with when coming into office was the wildfires of 2009 in eastern Oklahoma County. And a big problem was having responding agencies not being able to get through because the traffic was literally gridlocked.
With the Turnpike, those days are over. You never know when we will need help, but we know that it is closer with the Turnpike.
Getting there fast is important to keep more private destruction from occurring. So those homeowners are going to be safer now.
It will be wonderful for individuals who need medical emergency services.
I think that will help that tremendously and drop some of the response times that we've had.
One of the primary reasons for the turnpike system throughout the state of Oklahoma is to provide the safest roads in the state of Oklahoma. We're committed to having cable barriers on the entire turnpike system. We continue to add those every single year. I think we'll have that completed in the next couple of years.
There is enough safety cable barrier to wrap around the Oklahoma City metro area and enough steel to rebuild the Statue of Liberty 12 times.
We probably couldn't have been in this location had it not been for the cooperation of the Kickapoo Nation.
I think there's a little bit more people knowing that name now out there than just not knowing. You know, you can even look on a map, we're real small on the map. The area that we're in, we share with other tribes, and one of them was the Sac-Fox Nation, our Citizen Potawatomi Nation, and the Absentee Shawnee. When they considered our name, the Turnpike Authority took initiative to send out letters to the other tribes, and they approved the naming of the Turnpike after the Kickapoo. It was just all worked together, not just the authority, but the other tribes.
And the Kickapoos have been really good partners. If they could help, they wanted to help. They just didn't really want a lot of notoriety, and they did come through.
I think honoring the Kickapoo tribe and their contribution to our state and to this part of the county is really meaningful and special, and I'm really glad that we're getting to call it the Kickapoo Turnpike.
Naming that after the Kickapoo tribe, we're very humble about that.
I've always said for many years that a good transportation infrastructure is the vanguard to economic development.
The Turnpike has really benefited the city of Harrah. We're seeing it in our sales tax as we go, and it's not even done. Our sales tax for this year right now is up 30% from what it was last year. So we are reaping the benefits of the Turnpike.
It will be a really good way to connect all of those communities in eastern Oklahoma County and create more of a cohesive side of the county.
With this ribbon cutting, eastern Oklahoma County communities will once again have the opportunity to become relevant in future economic development endeavors. It will open doors that have been closed for decades. When I ask somebody, why did you relocate to Jones or Choctaw or Harrah?
It's an absolutely beautiful part. I mean, I know I'm biased, but it's an absolutely beautiful part of the state.
More than 2,200 acres of right-of-way were purchased. And you know the gathering place in Tulsa? That's 220 of those. 940 acres of sod, and that's enough to sod 4,000 residential lots. The largest new roadway project in Oklahoma in 30 years. Now let's go to the field and open it up.
Hey, Coach, what's going on here? OHP's gonna bust us for driving on an unopened road.
Let's get these two characters out of the way and open it up. I have just what we need in the back, Pat.
Coach, why is this thing so big?
God almighty, we go bigger, we go home.
I guess we do.
Pat, let's get this turnpike.
Coach, let's do it. Come on, mascots, you and you, come on with us.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this momentous day for our state's transportation system as we celebrate the opening of the first portion of the Kickapoo Turnpike. Despite an unconventional opening, we understand the importance of this new turnpike and what it means for Oklahoma. I want to take a few moments here to thank all of our partners in this endeavor, including all the tribal partners, specifically the namesake of the facility, the Kickapoo tribe. We also want to thank Chairman Pacheco and Kent Collier, who are extremely accessible and helpful throughout this process. We would not be here today without their support and assistance, and that of many others. Furthermore, I want to acknowledge the work that has been put in by our community leaders, including our legislators, Senator Ron Sharp and Representative Lewis Moore, Governor Kevin Stitt, the Oklahoma County Commissioners Kerry Bloomert and Brian Mon, the Oklahoma Turnpike Authority board members, as well as our community mayors, and for the engineers, contractors, and the many others whose work has made this turnpike a reality, we sincerely thank you. In addition to these partners, I want to thank the diligent work of our Oklahoma Turnpike Authority employees.
The challenges we have been faced with and have since overcome speak volumes to the personal responsibility they have taken to ensure the safety and well-being of motorists. The Oklahoma Turnpike Authority, in conjunction with all of its transportation partners, has done an exceptional job in providing this new reliever route, which helps fill the critical transportation safety and capacity needs that exist for the state. For the metro area, the Turnpike addresses congestion and helps with planning future transportation opportunities. Just as importantly, the Kickapoo connects the national interstate network and the state's two largest cities with one of the longest turnpikes built to date. And this route will provide new access for the region and economic growth opportunities in eastern Oklahoma County, both today and into the future. Again, we thank you for joining us on this great day for transportation in Oklahoma, and we look forward to the day in the not too distant future that the remaining portion of this new corridor can open to traffic and provide even more benefit to the state of Oklahoma.